Hey guys, so I finally got my Colourpop Star Wars Mandalorian the Child palette. It came in um, Friday, which is unfortunate because I normally don't film videos on the weekend because I just don't have time. So it's Monday, so today was the first chance I've had to use it. Now, in order to get free shipping on this, I had to order a couple other things. So I got one of their lip liners because I really like Colourpop's lip liners. This is called Obvi, and it's like a plum rose type shade, and I wouldn't pair this with this palette, but I just thought it was really pretty, and so I'll use this in a future video. Use it or wear it. And then I've always been curious about those cream eyeshadows that Colourpop makes now. To be honest with you, I haven't heard a lot of good information about them. A lot of people don't like them, but my curiosity got the best of me, and about half the shades were out of stock, so I just had to pick from what was there. So I got Agave Bloom, which is just a beige with silver shimmer in it. And I actually haven't tried this yet. And I was thinking that these might work as colored bases, but I don't want to use this today because it could really mess up the performance of the eyeshadows and end up, being a big mess and affect the final outcome. So I would rather use this um, at a future time and just use an eyeshadow primer that I know is going to work good. All right, so I had better put something in my hair here. I'm just gonna stick one of these hair clips. Just pull back the front pieces so they don't keep falling down and driving everybody crazy because I would have to keep pushing them back. Okay, so how y'all doing? My gosh, this situation with the big C, who shall remain nameless, you know what I'm talking about, is out of control. I was looking at the numbers. Um, Last night we had a really bad storm. We lost our electricity, and so the rain and the wind was just beating against the house, and the power was off, and I couldn't sleep, and I started going on my phone and looking at the numbers in my area for the you know what, and oh my God, it's so bad now. It's so scary, isn't it? So yeah, let's not even think about that. Let's play with makeup and get our minds off of that. I'm gonna use my MAC Painterly paint pot because I know this works with most eyeshadows, and I've used this many times with Colourpop eyeshadows. So we'll just put some of that on as our eyeshadow base. You know, these paint pots are not technically eyeshadow bases. Everybody just started using them that way, and MAC actually sells a legit eyeshadow base, but nobody seems to buy that. Everybody seems to like using these. Okay, now I am going to make sure that I put a little bit extra right on this outside edge, because you know what happens every time I do eyeshadow looks? It never wants to cling there, and I think it's because when I'm applying my eyeshadow base, I start over here, so by the time I get over here, there's no product, so we're going to make sure today that that doesn't happen. So of course I'm still watching The Mandalorian. Best show ever. God, that I love it so much. And right now, I've got him over there with a little plastic frog and a little thing of Play-Doh. But after this video, he's going to be holding his palette, or it's going to be in front of him on the stand there. But I thought that would be appropriate instead of the one that he had been holding. So as far as products go, anything that I already have on my face will be listed in the description box as always. Alright, so let's get into it. So cute, cute, cute. Oh my god, the detail, the attention to detail on this palette is unbelievable. So you get all the names on the back of the palette and on the palette itself. It says cutest in the galaxy. There is a mirror. These are the shades. But look at the little details. Like, look at the little frog down there. I mean, and the names of the shadows are so appropriate for the show. Precious Cargo, right hand Mando, just like a Tatooine, sipping soup, because soup is his favorite food, Babyface, the Force, Little Frog, because he loves, in the last episode, you know what, it would take too much time to explain it. You probably already know the reference to that, Little Frog. Float Your Crib, and you know the reference to that if you've seen the show, Android Protocol. Okay, so what I like to do now, I've started doing this a few palettes back, is I like to do swatches, because then it kind of gives me an idea of what the eyeshadow will look like on my eyes. So I think I will do 3 at a time, just, you know, starting with the top. And each one feels completely different. So there seems to be a lot of different finishes in here. Not much pigment there, but nice and shiny. I think I'm holding this too close to one of my light sources here. Okay, so that second one down, that green is pretty, and the third one is pretty versatile looking crease shade, matte brown. Okay, wiped off my fingers, and let's go to the second row. That's pretty. That's a very nice green matte. This one, I had read somewhere online that somebody said they thought this was a Super Shock shadow pressed into the palette. And when I received my palette in the mail, a little bit of it had spilled out. That's the Force, the gold one. So yeah, it does kind of feel like a Super Shock shadow. When you smooth it out on your skin, though, it seems to be fine. But it was popping out of the palette a little bit when I got the palette. Okay, and the last row. These mattes are really smooth. Wow, that's a nice brown. Wow. Okay, out of all the mattes, that brown definitely swatched the best, so I will have to make sure that I incorporate that into the look in some capacity. All right, so there really were no duds. They all swatched very nicely, so I don't think it's going to make any difference which ones I use. Yeah, they all seem to swatch really great. And when I went to wipe the swatches off, they all came off easily except for the brown. The brown one doesn't seem to want to come off, so that's very, very pigmented brown. Alright, so I think it would make a lot of sense to start with the Just Like a Tattooing, this matte brown shade, and I'm going to use my Profusion pointed crease eyeshadow brush. It's the ES3. So this just seems like a, wow, there's a lot of kickback here. So make sure you tap off your brush. So I'm just going to run that through the crease. I'm just going to pick up a little bit at a time here. Okay, this is a pretty good crease shade. I think it would work on a lot of skin tones. If you have a deeper skin tone, you could go light-handed with the Droid Protocol, the deep brown. Or you could mix the two browns together. So it's nice that they did that. Gave you like a light brown and a dark brown. So you can just add a little bit of the dark brown to the light brown depending on what color you need. Now I have watched a few videos of what other people did, but I'm kind of like, as soon as I watched the video, I totally blocked it out of my mind because I would rather use this palette like the way would make sense to me. So I'm not, you know, copying anybody's look or anything like that. So fortunately, we only lost our power for an hour and a half last night. It was restored quickly. Well, that's quick compared to what has happened in the past. Okay, next I'm going to use right hand Mando. I'm going to put that on my lids. MAC 239 shader brush. And there's a lot of kickback in this too, so I'm just tapping off my brush. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, God. You know, you can't go wrong with Colourpop. As far as what you get for the price and everything, their shadows are really nice. And they always come up with interesting color combinations. Wow, that applies fantastic. Very smooth, and I love the way the light catches it. Okay, I'm going to flip my brush over and use a little bit of Sipping Soup, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to put that just on the outside part of the lids. Okay, that's not really showing up. So I think what we're going to have to do is grab another brush. This is just an ES2 blending brush from Profusion. And let's take a little bit of Little Frog and try that shade instead. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm also going to blend that a little bit into just that whole outer corner area. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my AOA Studio Buttercream Gel Liner in the shade Birthday, which is a gold. And I'm going to take a Profusion Flat Precise eyeshadow brush. This is the ES7. And we're going to put some of that on the waterline. And then I'm going to take some of that brown shade with a Profusion Small Firm eyeshadow brush. This is the ES4. Gonna have to be very careful that I just pick up a little bit, because as we saw from the swatches, this is really pigmented. And I'm just gonna drag some of that along the lower lash line. Wow, that's a really nice brown. Okay, I'm gonna do my lash primer and mascara and curl my lashes off camera just to save some time. Okay, so to finish up the look here, I do want to try that Precious Cargo shade. I'm just going to use an AOA Studio pointed crease brush. This is the E105. I'm going to take some of that and put that right along the brow bone. This is a very, very light color. That is pretty though. Ooh, it's got some shimmer in it, so it does catch the light a bit. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, and let's try the inner corner. Yeah, that's quite subtle. It is pretty though. So that's the finished look, and yeah, I like this palette. All the shadows that I tried in it performed nicely, and next time I use it, of course, I'll have to try some of the ones that I didn't use today. But yeah, I like it. Very nice. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.